Jacoby Hudson for Mr. Timothy Denshaw.
All right. All right. And Mr. Hudson, do you waive formal reading of the warrants? I'm just going to, if you do, I'll just put the charges on in the warrant numbers.
Formal reading.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dennis, we're going to be here on the 8 different warrants today. And the first warrant number is 23W007186, and they're going to proceed sequentially in number after that. The first one is for possession of more than 1 ounce of marijuana. The second one is for possession of cocaine. The third is fleeing or attempting to elude from a police officer. The fourth is DUI, less safe. The fifth is speeding. The sixth is driving without a valid license. The seventh is possession of firearm during the commission of a felony. And the eighth is reckless driving. All right. The state can call its first witness. And Mr. Hudson, if you can just mute unless you need to make an objection. There's just a little bit of background noise. Thank you.
Trooper May, if you wouldn't mind raising your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you state your name for the record?
My name is Trooper Solomon May.
And where are you currently employed?
Department of Public Safety, Georgia State Patrol.
And how long have you been with GSP?
Approximately 5 years now.
And are you a post-certified law enforcement officer?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
And were you post-certified on the date listed on the warrant? And that date is May 6th, 2023.
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your badge number?
My badge number is 956. 956.
And can you tell us what occurred on May 6th, 2023 that led out to you taking out these 8 warrants?
Yeah, so on May 6th, 2023, roughly around 7:31 p.m., I was patrolling I-20 westbound, sitting on the entrance ramp for Candler Road. I observed a black Chevy Malibu traveling at a high rate of speed. I checked his speed using my Pro Laser, displayed 92 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. I got behind the vehicle and I attempted to conduct a traffic stop with my emergency equipment activated. The driver refused to stop. He continued traveling westbound on I-20. He was making erratic lane changes, unsafe lane changes, driving to the core area. His behavior was it put the public at grave risk for injuries, serious injuries rather. I attempted to perform a rolling block with another trooper, Sergeant Top, but he failed to stop. He went around us, and at that point, I had to initiate a pit maneuver to get the vehicle to stop, and to save lives and protect the public. So afterwards, he was taken into custody. During my encounter, I observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage emitting from his person. His speech was slurred, and he had bloodshot, watery eyes. I conducted a vehicle search, incident to arrest. During that search, I retrieved the black backpack from the back passenger area of the vehicle. And inside the backpack contained a large plastic bag of marijuana. We weighed the marijuana. It came out to be 5.25 ounces, approximately. I also located in the same backpack 2 small clear plastic bags of a white powdery substance that is suspected to be cocaine. The total weight of that was 0.55 ounces approximately. I also located a handgun. This was in the front passenger area inside of a backpack. It was a Springfield Armory handgun. And I also located, Don Julio alcohol. So it was approximately 3/4 full. I checked his information. He didn't have his license on him. I checked his info because he provided his name and date of birth. I checked his name and date of birth through GCIC, and that's how he was able to be identified. But he did not have his license on his person.
Was his license valid at the time, or his privilege?
If I recall, yeah, he was. He wasn't suspended or anything like that. He just didn't have his license on his person.
And was this in DeKalb County, Georgia?
Yeah, the pursuit initially started in DeKalb County. He did cross over into Fulton County, and that's where he was at county, but initially started in DeKalb County.
And the violations that you observed, were those all in DeKalb County?
When the vehicle stopped, when I conducted a vehicle search, we located the drugs and all in Fulton County. Some of his erratic driving did occur in Fulton County, but again, initially started in DeKalb County. So.
And who was the person that you were able to, or what was the name of the individual that you stopped?
Yes, he was identified as Timothy Charles Dennis.
And if I could get some assistance from the jail in allowing Mr. Dennis to come as close as possible to the camera and pulling his mask down just for a brief moment. And if he, perfect. And Trooper Mays, does this appear to be Mr. Dennis, the individual you were just testifying about?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is it any possible way that his video can come on screen? It's hard to see him.
Oh, I think if he speaks or if someone speaks at the jail, unmutes and speak, the speaker should pop up as the primary screen that you see.
And he might have to back up a little bit as well. The shadows on his face now. Perfect.
Trooper May, you probably still can't see him, right?
No, I can't. No.
Can the jail please unmute and then say something so that your screen becomes shown?
Yes, ma'am. That's Timothy Dennis Charles.
Thank you. And thank you. And Mr. Dennis, you're more than welcome to have a seat again. And thank you to the jail and your honor for the purposes of probable cause, nothing further from the state.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Trent. All right, Mr. Hudson, please proceed.
No questions, Your Honor.
Oh, you have no questions?
No questions.
Okay. Is there anything further from the state?
No rebuttal evidence, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there any evidence or argument from the defense?
Yes, Your Honor. Now that we're not presenting no evidence, just argument.
All right, you may proceed.
Okay. Judge, I'm gonna ask that that on the charges with intent to distribute, we never heard any evidence to say that the drugs was packaged in a certain type of way that'll be indicative of Mr. Dennis's having the intent to distribute. So I will ask that those charges be changed to possession charges of VTC.
All right, let me just interrupt for a second. The marijuana, I believe, is just felony possession, more than 1 ounce.
Okay.
Am I seeing that wrong? Does anyone?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay.
Your Honor, I have them both as just possession charges, no with intent to distribute.
Okay. All right. Sorry, Mr. Hudson. I just want to make sure I was looking at the right thing.
You, Judge Brian Rock, I appreciate that. But also, Judge, I didn't present any evidence because I feel as if also that the DUI less safe, Judge, we didn't hear any evidence to support a DUI less safe. We didn't hear that if Mr. Dennis did any field sobriety test, any walk and turn, or horizontal nystagmus test, or anything that would indicate that he was a less safe driver. All we heard is that that Mr. Dennis was possibly driving erratic and that he had an open container of alcohol. We didn't hear any evidence that alcohol was emanating from this person or anything. So I'm gonna ask that the DUI less safe charge be dropped. Also, Judge, more importantly, there's the fleeing and attempt to elude statute. Trooper May presented evidence stating that Mr. Dennis was driving erratically up on the court, but we didn't hear any evidence of Mr. Dennis's speed limit, or was he going more than 20 miles per hour, posted past the speed limit, or that would put the general public in danger. As such, we did hear that he was driving that possibly could put the people in danger, but we didn't hear anything that about Mr. Dennis's speed, which the statute clearly delineates for felony fleeing and elude. with that being said, Judge, we'll ask that probable cause only be found on misdemeanor fleeing and elude, and all the other charges remain as such. I stipulate the probable cause on all of the felony charges. I do believe that Trooper may lay a prima facie case for those charges instead. But I will ask that the DUI be no probable cause on DUI and no probable cause on felony fleeing and eluding.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hudson. Ms. Trin, response?
Yes, Your Honor. And Your Honor, although it was quick, Trooper May did testify that the speed the defendant was going at was 92 and a 65. That's what initiated him getting behind the defendant and initiating the traffic stop, where he then refused to stop. Trooper May also indicated that he had to try to box in the defendant with another police vehicle. The box maneuver did not work, and the defendant actually drove around the box, which then prompted him to initiate the pit maneuver, which is how he then got the defendant to actually stop the vehicle. We'd ask that Your Honor find probable cause for the felony fleeing and eluding. As far as the DUI, Your Honor, Trooper Mays also testified for him, the evidence for DUI was that there was a strong odor coming from the defendant's person. There were bloodshot, watery eyes. He also had slurred speech. The trooper also testified that he also found the open container of Don Julio that was 3/4 full at the time. The state would ask that Your Honor find probable cause on all of the warrants and find the case over as is.
All right. Okay. I am going to find that there's probable cause on all 8 warrants to bind them over, and I will do so. And Mr. Hudson, you wanted to be heard as to bond?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
I will wait. Mr. Dennis is coming up on his 90th day, so I will reserve that.
All right, Mr. Hudson.
Because in case bond is denied, I don't want him to have to wait. Some time past that. So
I understand.
We'll just ask that by bond hearing be scheduled at a later date.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you all. I'll get these signed and bound over, and thank you all for being here. You're all excused from court.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Trooper Mays.